All right, welcome everyone. This is the third sprint, well, third third section of the 15-hour sprint, and we've got SD, Emma, and Hananya. Welcome. Great to see you here. We've got quite a few people in the chat who are saying hello. Let me just share my screen so I got the timer up because I'm obviously not as well prepared as other people. Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, there's the timer. Okay, let's say hi to everyone before we do intros. Oh, actually, shall we do intros first? SD, if you're still here, would you like to go first? If not, oh, SD's probably at a meeting she's got right now, so we may skip her. She can message in the private chat later if when she's back. Shall we start intros of Hananya and then Emma?
Sure thing. So, hi, I am Hananya. I am a multi-genre writer, and I vlog about all the stuff writing related on my channel. So, if you want, you can check that out. As of today, officially a published author, as my short story is in the Stitching collection that released today. I shall be popping links to that shortly in the chat. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Cool. Emma?
Hey, my name is Emma Bennett. I'm a UK-based writer. I write contemporary romance and the occasional children's picture book, and I'm also a freelance developmental editor. I'm doing Camp Nano this month, and I'm writing my first Regency romance. So that's what I'm starting today. I am in awe of Hananya, and she is so going to hit the 10K during the sprint. Amazing. I'm going for a much lower word count. I'm always very slow starting a story as I'm kind of getting the characters fleshed out and stuff like that. So I think I've done about 800 words, something like that, but there's been a lot of planning as well. So I'm just hoping to continue with that just for about an hour, and then I'm going to need to head off, but I just wanted to be here for a little while.
Cool. I'm Andy. This is my channel. Thanks for joining me. I currently do low and no content and nonfiction. That's my focus. I will eventually shift to fiction. I just need to tie off everything before I make them move. Shall we say hi to people in the chat today? So there's Mama Maggie, Stream Hoppers Unite. Hello, lovelies. Keiko, great to see you. Bethan, this relay thing is pretty awesome. Yep, I hope you're enjoying it so far. Joanne, great to see you. Cat's Novel Adventures, hey. Inca. Joanne saying hi, everyone. Jocelyn, I love Jocelyn. She's got the unicorn cowboy thing. Love it. Kat, Hanania saying hi. Morgan Lee, great to see you. Hey, how's it going? We're going to skip the hosts a bit faster because we know they're here. So Kat saying you're on fire, which she is. Hanania's got like a crazy. Here's her word goal. That's her word goal. That's crazy. I'm not sure I could do that. RC with his unique signature saying hi. Comment, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. Hey, I can't actually see all the emoji things because on StreamYard it doesn't show, but I think it's a heart. It's a heart-shaped things. So great to see you, Ali. And CB394. Anyone got a nickname for CB394?
I just always say CB.
Emma,
I always just say CB.
Just CB.
Yeah.
So I thought Emma was like in charge of nicknames, but
if you want us to call you something else, let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So if you would like a nickname or you've got a name, feel free to let us know. Okay. Would you guys be interested in going for the first sprint? We could get that going. Okay, so I'm gonna get that going. Let's go. I shall see you on the other side. Okie dokie, and that is the first round. How did you guys do?
Pretty good. Pretty good. My heroine's about to run off to London to find her husband. So, all cool.
I'm gonna pause that again. Sorry, the timer invert just started. Cool. Sorry. And we've got the chat's been popping, by the way. How did you do, Hananya? You're muted. You're muted.
Why?
Oh, there you
Why
go.
does this keep happening? I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I lost a little bit of steam. I got 458 words, but it's all good. I'm trying to figure out some stuff. And I should also, did the necessary stuff of like getting water and like going to the bathroom and stuff. So, hydrate people.
Exactly. Self-care, so important. I mean, just because we're doing a 15-hour sprint, write-a-thon, pass the pen, doesn't actually mean you don't hydrate, and it definitely doesn't mean you don't use the bathroom. If you need to use the bathroom, by all means.
Public service announcement.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't know about other people's streams, but on my stream, you're allowed to use the bathroom at any point.
Good.
No one's allowed to on my streams.
Exactly.
They're only allowed to if they take you with them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't going to point fingers, but, Elma here, she's a bit of a... all good.
You're being mean again.
She's lovely. You're allowed to use bathrooms whenever you feel like on Emma's streams, I'm sure. Okay, moving swiftly on. We got so many comments. Did you guys want to pick anything out? Otherwise, I'm just going to go through a few of them.
I didn't pay attention to chat because I was trying to write.
You're trying to write. Yep, fair enough. Mama Maggie's been so good with dropping links. So there's Shannon's Kickstarter. Yeah. Also, let's not forget, Hananya's got her big day today with the launch.
Amazing.
And with her, incidentally, if you guys didn't know, Emma's actually a proper author. She's trad published, and she's actually a Amazon bestseller. So, props to her. And if anyone wants to go and check out my top 10 self-pub resources, feel free. So Mama Maggie's been really good at dropping some links, as well as Joanne. So there's Hananya's newsletter, if anyone would like to sign up. That's Hananya saying thanks. Signed copy, if anyone would like to go check it out. And guess who popped in? Author she popped in. Just want to say hi as well, Jocelyn. Saying hi. But I had to hop off, so hope she has a good day. I'm gonna skip mine. I'm probably gonna skip a few of yours. I'll pop some of yours on. Emma saying bye. I'm saying bye. Yeah, manuscripts. Oh, my manuscript. I've just opened it recently, and it's. Let me just do a quick word count. It's currently sitting at 24,000 words. Some of that is an outline, so I decided to change direction a little bit, but I need to rewrite quite a bit. So I've got that ahead of me. And there was a bit of chat about waffles. So Mama Maggie is making some waffles, and she's going to freeze a bunch. And I was genuinely curious. I don't know if waffles freeze well. Do you guys know if waffles freeze well?
Yeah, they freeze really well. Pancakes.
And yeah, apparently I'm the only one who doesn't know waffles freeze well.
Yeah, you can freeze waffles, pancakes,
cake,
apple pie.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
You can freeze cake. Seriously?
Yeah.
Who
yes, we have had this discussion. You didn't believe me the first time. You can freeze ice cake, and they're fine.
I don't know. Rachel,
I do it all the time.
Good to see you. I don't know about freezing cake, by the way.
You can. It's fine.
I'll try it next time. I do like banana cake. I do like banana cake. So and Anne is actually in a convention, anime convention in Dusseldorf. And I mentioned that I had a old friend from university. I lost contact with him. His name's Oliver Keener. So if anyone comes across the big time engineer if
anyone wants to stalk him, there you go.
Yeah, you've got his name. Can you imagine he's just walking around like doing his supermarket shop, and someone's like, "I know you, you know Panda."
I know you. I don't know if he even remembers me actually. But yes, there we go. He's probably way too important. He's probably forgotten me now. But there we go. Let me see. Ooh, Morgan Lee, 501 words.
Nice.
How's you guys word count? How's the word count going for you, Hananya and Emma?
I mean, I'm sitting at, what is it, 8,500. So, only 1,500 more.
Ooh, very close.
That is awesome. I don't know, because I'm writing in two different kind of documents, and one of them I can't see the word count. I'm literally just like working my way through and finding my way through the story.
Okay. That sounds good. So it's kind of like a discovery kind of thing?
No, I know what I'm doing. I'm outlined, but because I'm kind of working on the characters and stuff, I'm working on those descriptions so that I've got them clear in my head. So I'm not really going for like a high word count. It's more making sure that the characters are completely clear for the reader before I move on.
See, this is the kind of stuff that I'm very fearful about when I dip my toes into fiction in the future, because I've got no idea how to write these things. So yeah, we'll see.
You'll figure it out. I'm sure you'll do fine. You have plenty of friends that will, be there if you need help or like need advice or whatever.
AI. AI is always there as well to give ideas. And not that I would use it to write. I don't think it would write anything very nice. I don't.
No, but inspiration-wise, it can be useful.
That's right. Just getting some ideas. So I stopped off over here, and I kind of lost the chat a little bit. It's been hopping, but did he leave on purpose or kidnapped? I'm like, who's kidnapping him? Who's leaving?
That was about the hero in my story. So he didn't leave. So basically, the heroine, her family are in financial trouble. Her parents have died, and her brothers inherited the estate. And she doesn't know how she can help the family out. So she decides that she needs to go and get married. But she's embarrassed. She doesn't know about dresses and stuff, and she doesn't want her sisters and her brother interfering. So she makes a list of eligible bachelors and runs off to London to go and stay with her aunt so that she's got someone who can sponsor her for the season. And she's trying to find a husband, but her arch enemy, her brother's best friend, follows her to keep an eye on her, and he's really desperately in love with her, and it's wonderful.
That's so cute.
Oh, I love it.
Desperate love. Okay, that all makes a bit more sense, because I was like, oh, hold on. But that makes more sense.
Now we go back to covering Emma's face.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's fine. I get it.
I
want to cover my face most days. It's understandable.
Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do this. Yes, we're gonna do that. There you go. And Keiko popped in. Hi, Keiko. And CB, 402 words.
Nice.
Outstanding. Just Eva, as always, some really solid advice. Hydrates and a toilet emoji, followed by writing in that order. That's
okay.
Yeah. No words, no true roast. Life is unfair. I feel that. Justin's doing good. No restroom passes necessary around here. And there's a bit of chat. Nano. Oh, by the way, it is Camp Nano start today, I think. So that's always good. I'm not gonna say the first couple of words, but yes, we need to. I feel like we need to get productive again soon. So let me just run through some of these. You're missing waffles by mountains today. And there's Joanne's coffee. I don't know how you pronounce it. If you want
to
support her a bit, it's over there. And we're nearly caught up in the chat, I hope. Reminder, especially for those of us doing Camp Nano and other writing challenges, glitches happen, but you can prevent the gremlins causing chaos by doing one thing: back up your work. I really love that, actually, because I've known others who have just lost work. So you write like 50,000 words and then you forget to back it up. Like I make it a point to back mine up every single day. My word count isn't massive, but if I was like Hananya and I've got like 10K words in like five hours, yeah, I would probably back that up, so yes, back up your work. See, Keiko knows what I'm talking about. Freezing waffles and this is the first time. I'm so glad Keiko is here. I am not the only one who thought freezing waffles was weird. It's not weird. It's just that it's the first time I've heard of it. So yeah,
just try it.
Shameless plug, all good. Just Eva updating website today, but yeah, feel free to go check that
Nice.
website out. Rachel, 2359 revised. Very nice, very nice. Professional bakers freeze cake to make it easier to crumb. Ooh, oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Morgan Lee is crushing it, and you owe someone in a grocery store with a surprise. So Emma actually has an ongoing saga with the local grocery store. Did you want to expand a bit about that, or are you too embarrassed?
Should have been there. That's
Yeah,
the
well,
story.
I'm
Should have
kinda
been
glad I
there
was.
when we told it.
I'm
If you
kind of
didn't,
glad
you're
I
missing
wasn't there. Go check out Emma. Feel free to plug your videos for the whole episode. I'm sure people.
Yeah, it is. There were shorts made of my embarrassing escapades, my Emmas, as I call them, when I'm just.
AKA, go follow
myself.
Emma's channel if you haven't
Yeah,
already.
go follow
so
my
you can
channel.
watch all of that.
Yeah, exactly. Emma shares a lot of humor. I guess part humor,
That's
part
us.
embarrassing bits. It's just
She shares
normal human
life.
life. Yeah, exactly. So yes, let's have a look. Book might be made into a third book. That's awesome. No killing of characters has happened yet. It's always nice to hear. Excited to read it. Just small murder. Ooh, small. Is there like a distinction? Tiny, small, and tiny murders. I don't know.
Well, at least it's definitely a murder as opposed to Hananya's, which is a kind of a murder.
No, I said it's kind of a murder story.
Kind of a murder story. Ooh, Morningstar says, I hit a snag on AI last night. I put an idea in, and it went way, 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 way from where I planned to take the story. AI is good, but is not creative, which is true. Just good at sparking juice in you, which is, yeah, that's kind of how I currently use it. So I never use AI as it is. I've heard of people complaining about AI books flooding KDP recently, and yeah, it's not very cool actually. Did Panda only now realize is the start of Panda?
I love that. That really made me laugh.
Thanks.
Why did you think we were doing this, mate?
I had no idea. I was
For
like,
fun.
it's Saturday. By the way,
missed the memo.
Canada Day. It's Canada Day as well, so it's kind of Canada Camp Nano, which is probably what threw me because I didn't realize people were celebrating all over the world about Canada Day. Like, I think people are more likely to celebrate Camp Nano than Canada Day, generally. So yeah, that kind of got me. How far did it vary? Actually, I would be interested to know how far it varied as well. According to Barefoot Contessa, you can also freeze pastry before you bake
Of course you
it.
can.
Of course
Who
you
doesn't
can.
know this? I often
didn't
make
know
double
it.
amounts of pastry and pasta. When I make pasta, I make double amounts and I freeze half of
Yeah.
it. Duh.
Okay,
My whole
pasta I
freezer's
know.
stocked
I
with
know about pasta.
pre-made food.
Pasta is like pastry.
Really? I don't know. I'm not a pastry chef. I couldn't tell you. Morningstar, I told him what I wanted. Mum not dead. First he must have this. Main character doesn't know a secret. Through the secret into the first chapter, making it the plot point. It's also my first time hearing that. There we go. See, Keiko understands. For me, it's always eat them while they're fresh and thinking they get bad if not eaten immediately. Yeah, exactly. So why don't you just? I mean, except for pasta and stuff, you double batch or triple batch. I'm of the opinion that if it's like banana cake, I'm happy to eat it in one go. And if you have one whole slice, like the whole cake, it's just one slice, really, isn't it?
But it saves time to cook. Like I'll cook like a couple of cakes and I'll freeze one of them because I've got the stuff out anyway.
It's true. And another plug, make sure you go subscribe to Emma's channel because she is
Thank you,
very
Rachel.
entertaining. It's true, Rachel, 100% true. I like hooks. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I am gonna add the famous RC.
Happy Canada Day!
Happy Canada Day!
Happy Camp Nano as well.
Sure.
Which I didn't realize until a few minutes ago, apparently. And great to see you, RC. Sorry, I hope you weren't in the backstage for too long. I only just noticed the private chat going up. We're just going through some. Let me just finish the comments. We're nearly at the end. AI has the potential to be evil like Ultron. Sorry, AI books versus ghostwriters. What is the difference? Ghostwriters are human. Happy Canada Day.
Actual imagination.
It's a shame that Rich is not here because Canada has like. I was gonna say if anyone's heard of it, there's Beaver Tales, which is quite big in Canada, and I thought Richard will have a field day with that. Beaver Tales. Anyway, moving
I
on.
don't want to mention beavers in front of Richard.
Beavers are deadly. They kill a lot of people in Canada every year while the trees they knock down while people are going down the road in their vehicles. Look that stuff up. It's wild. Them and mooses.
It's true. It's true. We're just overwhelming Panda with chat. RC, that is true. That is true. But we have reached at the end of the chat, but not the end of the sprint. RC joined late, but I'm more than happy if you would like to do a intro if you'd like. RC, completely up to you.
Okay, sure.
Yep,
Hi,
go
folks. RC Scott. I write horror. I have some stories available right now. No Strings Attached, a short story, 2 shorts, midnight double feature, and the novella Skin Auction. Today, I'll be working on my graphic novel, intended 8 issues. I'm halfway through 4, and damn it, I'm getting it done today.
Woohoo, woohoo, there we go. Okay, so everyone, are we ready for the next 25-minute sprint?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So let me get this going. Okay, so I'm going to click now, and I shall see you in about 25 minutes. Okie dokie, that is time. How did everyone do? Oh, I'm going to cancel that. Yeah, how did everyone do? I'm going to put this on big screen.
Hananya, do you want to start? Miss
Yep,
Word
go ahead.
Count?
I'm trying to get the word count. Hold on.
Oh, okay. I wasn't writing in that sprint. We didn't do Father's Day for my husband when it was a couple of weeks ago. So we're doing it tomorrow, and I was kind of beginning to get prepared for that and doing some stuff to get ready for that.
I ended up getting 737 words.
Ooh. What are you at
So-
now? Like,
We're getting close. 9,300.
Well done.
ooh.
So just one more sprint, and then I should be good.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
per day.
That's amazing. Well done.
Thanks.
And SD is back with us. How did you
Yay.
do? How was the meeting?
It was really good. Yeah, we talked about everything from ISBNs, using drafted digital versus ingrown Spark. Then we also talked about YouTube stuff because one of the guys in the group, Nick Ashball, he's got a really big company. So he's got like his own, he's got a really big YouTube channel, sorry. So he's got his own like YouTube manager from someone from YouTube who works with him, who tells him all the things that's working and stuff.
Wow,
And-
nice.
Yeah. And then I think MK, she just got information from YouTube that says videos get more preference from YouTube than live streams, with premieres falling somewhere in between. I'm like, oh, well, they mostly do live streams. So I was like, okay. But yeah, learned lots of great information.
Good to know.
So,
Yeah, good to know. Otherwise, you wouldn't know how to change course if need be. You know. So, yeah.
and I was told something by Sako to me, which I have never heard, and I couldn't find anything to support it. So I asked Nick if he could ask his contact, which is if you are watching someone's channel, like for FaceTime, right? Like say someone's watching your stream right now, Andy, but then they go into another tab and they're doing some work, like say on their website or whatever it is, they're doing Gmail, whatever. Sako had said, she said that you don't get the watch time for that or something. It
Really?
doesn't get counted. That's what she said. I couldn't find anything to support that. I went and researched it, couldn't find anything. So I asked Nick about it, and Nick said that he's never been told that before, but he would ask this person. And he says, honestly, if you use a browser that like Safari or something, how could they track that? But if you are using a browser like Chrome, well, that's owned by Google, which owns YouTube. Maybe they are tracking it. But he says, that's kind of scary that they're like so into what you're doing that they know what you're doing on all your tabs.
I believe
I'll be
it.
honest. Sorry. Go ahead, RC.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
So my experience with using Safari specifically to watch different streams is it kicks me out. So it starts off fine, as in I'm watching everyone's live and it's all working. But if you look through it after a few minutes, you'll notice that a few, actually all but one, sometimes all of them, have just stopped the line. So I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my only evidence for.
Is that because you've muted the stream?
No, I just put my so the volume on my computer is muted, but the streams are not muted.
Okay.
So
Because I
the
do know
streams-
that if like your stream or like whatever you're watching, even if it's like a YouTube video, if you mute that and then pull something else up, you're not actually watching it. So you can't really know what's going on. If you have the audio on, then at least like I don't know, it registers that you're actually watching it or something. I don't know. It's
I
weird.
just mute the tab
Yeah.
so that I don't have to worry about that part.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds like RC. How did you do on that sprint?
There was progress made. I moved that big boulder a couple of turns. I'm on to a couple more pages. I'm out of my scene. I got to finish this book. This issue today. I only got like 8 more pages left.
Nice. So how many words, or do you do a lot of graphics on it, or how much work goes into like one page?
Well, I mean, I just describe the panel and do the dialogue, but I don't know if it's just me still being new and just not getting a good routine going. But a lot of times when it comes to like the full flesh scene where I want the angle to be at, who I want to have in the panel and the dialogue, I can't really get there until I'm there writing it. it's hard for me to like think about it while I'm off doing other things and being distracted by a million other things. So it is kind of a slow process, but I don't know, I'm getting a little faster at it. But yeah, it's mostly just like trying to, I don't know, get the flow going from panel to panel, and also have some kind of symbolism there. It's basically all telling though, so a lot easier than writing prose.
Gotcha. Cool. Me, I was just scrolling through my manuscript, which I had left off for quite a few weeks, or maybe a couple of months even. Yeah, very naughty Andy. But the big problem with leaving a manuscript or story that you're writing is that it takes a lot of time to get back into it, especially when you're trying to continue the same voice. I don't know if you guys experience that, but I
Yes.
regularly experience this.
All the time.
So yeah, so that was me. Let's have a look at what the chat was doing. So we left off over here with overwhelming panda of chat, and thank you everyone for being patient as I scroll through the chat. So if in case you haven't heard, but Emma's got a decent channel out there. Very entertaining.
Decent channel. Wow.
It's fairly decent, you know.
Links in the chat I put there, and yes, you should definitely go and subscribe to and watch the awkward grocery store videos. That's some of my favorites. RP, I plugged your channel there as well, and also your link tree. I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
And there's been a bit of a chat about ghostwriters and stuff, but we'll get onto that. But Richard Holiday, he's got a newsletter, so if you want to subscribe, feel free. He's 4 subs off his next milestone. There was a bit of chat Morningstar and I and about ghostwriters and AI. Let's have a look. Sorry. So yeah, Richard's got his newsletter coming up Monday. So this might take, if it's ghostwritten, usually you get a contract or some kind of release form, and you probably edit the work before you publish it. So ghostwritten work will unlikely, I mean, I'll never say never, but it's unlikely to be published as it is. And then we were having a bit of back and forth. The difference, had I told the ghostwriter my vision, they wouldn't have done the exact opposite from what I requested. So Morningstar had AI give an output that was very off, very off.
Shocker.
So when it did that last night, I was like, maybe the idea is original. Oh, sorry. It didn't feel original. And I haven't really had a huge amount of experience playing with AI, to be honest, with writing actual like stories. So I can't really say. Richard, if anyone
I would say
check out his...
pseudo-write is different from ChatGPT, though, just so you guys know.
Yes. Yeah.
So it can actually learn your voice and style. You can feed it up to 2,000 words and tell it to write in your style.
Nice. So have you used that with?
No, I haven't. I've played around with like the free stuff, but it's not, you don't get a lot of functionality of the free stuff. But I've seen tons of tutorials, And then I also follow the nerdy novelist. He mostly uses ChatGPT, but he's tried out pseudo-write as well. He's on YouTube if you guys are interested. I just took a course with Joanna Penn on Monday, and she also showed us what she did in pseudo-write, which was the same thing that I had seen in a lot of different places, with a little more that she had added in there. But she showed how she could feed it her work, and it learned her voice and what it would do. And Story Engine is a new thing that they've added in there, which is more AI kind of like driven stuff from the language models, where you can say, okay, what should I do next? And it'll kind of come up with different ideas for you, versus where it was just kind of like using your voice to write what you were thinking of before. But yeah.
Nice.
I know where it was going. My brain went on a tangent.
No, I definitely need to check that out.
It's expensive though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it does have. I'm kind of hoping that, as the AI market matures a bit more, there's probably going to be more competition, which is quite the natural course of business. And, pseudo-write or whichever the popular one is at the moment, maybe they'll stay ahead. But there will be more competition is my best guess. So yeah, that's we'll see what happens with that one. Richard's got his sale on his books, Price War.
Yay.
If anyone wants to check that off, check that. He's a sale or two off the Magic 50. So yeah, if you fancy a summer read, go check that out.
If you didn't know what that was, by the way, that's just showing up on that first page of the top 100.
Good to know. Good to know. Cool. Keiko got 313 words. Excellent.
Nice.
Well done.
Oh, well done.
I was fascinated by the recommended videos that were displayed to Panda. Yeah, I would say it's incognito, just so we're clear. It's not personal preferences there. I don't know what you saw. Anyway, CB459, excellence. Incidentally, 459, did you know?
Yeah.
4 plus 5 equals 9. Ooh.
Which equals 18. Then you divide by 2, and it's 9. Which you have 2 9s in that number. I went further. Sorry, I'm a numbers person.
Yeah, I'm not going to compute that. 399 words.
Well done, Richard.
Finally unplugged myself. Ooh, what were you?
I want to know what you're unplugging, Richard.
Yeah, I was like, what were you plugged into, or what was plugged into you? I'm like,
He was plugged into the internet because he's
how many of what?
Ooh, we better.
I don't
move
want to
on.
know.
Yeah, he might unleash something terrible.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Can we move on? Thanks.
Mama Maggie just finished setting out several older books to be free. Book launch day, woohoo! Awesome. Tomorrow is the 3rd annual Thank You Day here in the UK. Nice.
That's nice.
9,300. Yeah, Hanania's on fire, right? I mean, that's just.
Yeah, you should see a picture of her as you should get that picture and share it of her as Katniss.
Oh yeah, that
She's
was
on fire.
very good at this point.
I need to try and get that. I need to look up the chats. Did I miss a memo? You probably did. In all honesty, don't worry, you can catch it later. Inca, thanks for the sprints.
Bye,
I hope you feel
Inca.
better. Yeah, hope you feel better soon.
Hi, Inca.
I feel like some people are leaving. That by the time we get to mine and Margaret's stream, nobody's gonna be left.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Is this another day invented by Hallmark to sell cards? I don't know. I don't know how Hallmark's card sales are doing, because everyone's. I mean, I still do cards sometimes, but I don't do anywhere near as many cards as I used to back in the day. So sales might have dropped off, but they may be selling more merch, other like mugs and stuff.
I think so. By Canada Day, that's like a federal statutory holiday, isn't it? Like
yes.
The Confederation.
Yeah, it is. Just Eva, I learned how to make a Google form. Ooh, that's exciting. I know people who use Google Forms to run their newsletter, actually. So, that could be a thing. I'm not sure about all the details. I don't know how they do it, but I've seen people use it. And that's the extent of my knowledge about Google Forms.
Maybe to collect email addresses?
Yeah, I don't quite know how they integrate it. But yeah, it's Google Forms is useful to have for sure. Hope Inca feels better soon.
And I would ask, what are you making your form for? You don't have to share, but just curious.
Knees.
Panda, is it okay if I hop off?
Yes. Ooh, sorry. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Go ahead. I'll catch you later, Alma.
Okay.
Are you popping on any of the other streams?
I'm gonna be in the chats of as many of them as I can, but I won't be on the screen. But I'll be joining in the chats. Okay. Bye.
See you later.
Have a good evening. No, this one has decent cause behind it. It's for carers who look after people with dementia and Alzheimer's. Okay. I keep second screens open in new windows instead of tabs. Oh, okay. Maybe that's yeah.
I was gonna say with the last one, my short that just came out today was about Alzheimer's, and because all my shorts that come out on Saturdays are usually about the writer health and mind, and so it was how to save or how to stop Alzheimer's so you don't have brain fog as a writer. Sorry, just wanted to connect that.
That's okay.
I feel like the person who walked in the room with the purple elephant in my arms.
You're good. Is Andy muted?
I don't know.
What's happening?
Oh, yes, I was muted. Sorry.
Oh,
I was like, is it just me?
I was scrolling through the chat thinking people could hear me. Anyway, let's go back. So I keep second streams open in new windows instead of tabs. I'd pay someone to do this for me if I could, receiver. And Richard saying, pay me. I need 4 forms. I discovered I don't have the tab for a stream on top. The stream won't start. Oh, okay. If I'm on something else, but if I have it in its own window, it starts. Yeah, good to know. 3 to 5 questions. This is for Richard, and if it went into a spreadsheet, it'd be perfect. Hopefully, see you soon, CB. Richard, I use Microsoft Forms myself. My Google Forms is the Pepsi to that Coke.
I had no idea Microsoft had forms.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I didn't know that. But Richard likes his Microsoft Excel and stuff. So I'm getting my office back in shape. That's awesome, Kat. That's great news. It's amazing to me, all the stuff I accumulate over a few weeks. So true. Elma had to pop out. Sure, Google Forms by default split their responses into a spreadsheet. So you just set up the form on its own.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. You just say, do the spreadsheet.
Yeah. I haven't really messed around with it.
But we use it for the AWC. Everything's through the forms.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. RC raging behind the scenes at ChatGPT. RC, are you a fan of ChatGPT?
He's not a fan of AI.
No AI.
Well, I've never used ChatGPT. I am not the least bit interested in doing so.
Yeah.
I actually I used it by accident. I think I was on Reddit looking at something stupid or Quora, and I asked a question, and it popped up with a ChatGPT answer. I'm like, oh hell no, and I backed out of it. I didn't even read the answer. That's as far as I got with it. I mean, I understand why people use it. I don't know. I'd rather just figure it out on my own. If I can't do it, that wasn't meant to do it. And not to mention, AI is not at the point yet where it's anything. It's stupid. It's still being fed information, and that's why you're getting all this bollocks, and people are going with it. If you're going to do that, at least wait for it to advance a little bit, or just write yourself.
Yeah.
Opinion.
AI isn't everything that we use. Amazon right now is developing a program so that we no longer have to worry about putting keywords into the back end of our books.
Oh, sorry. What was that? Amazon was working on.
They're developing an AI that will automatically pull keywords for you, so you don't have to worry about coming up with keywords when you put your books on Amazon.
Nice. Yeah, that'll make things a lot easier.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, well, depending on the book, but I sometimes spend quite a significant amount of time to get the right keywords and all that kind of stuff.
And it's never ending because keywords change,
Yeah, that's right.
So you have to constantly go in there and redo your keywords and search and, do research and all that.
Yeah, that's right. You got to update it every so often, unless your book's selling. Then, in which case, I would not be.
I understand. Thing is, it makes things a lot more convenient. Maybe it's because I write horror. I see the other side of that. I see what else can become. You see small things with like YouTube creeping on your browsers, your tabs. How come every time I go look for something, all of a sudden it's popping up my ads on Facebook? I wasn't even buying anything just because I was interested in the product. Now all of a sudden I'm getting bombarded with ads. It's not only that, but I think with the advancement of AI, it can go either way. It can be helpful, or it can hinder us, or just knock us into a new dark age.
The thing is, if you don't get in there and figure out what it's all about, how can you be at the forefront of making sure that we have the right changes in place, that we don't go into the dark ages?
Well, it's all about who's programming it. But even then, if it gets to a level of actual artificial intelligence, it's going to make up its own mind about anything. And I guess all depends on that.
I like that you said that, because we do call all of this AI, but it's actually not any of it.
It's collected. AI. We were talking about ghostwriting earlier. At least that's somebody's imagination. It's not collected imagination.
Well, I mean, the AI is, as we see it, is just a series of ones and zeros that it pulls data from the internet. So it's not actually coming up with anything on its own.
Yeah, but don't you think that'll transfer into the writing too?
What are you talking about?
Just the, flat binary side of it. I don't know. I noticed, because that's why I don't listen to music while I write, because I end up going to the rhythm of it. Literally. Or I'm just weird.
I'm not sure where I stand on AI yet, to be honest. I'm hearing pros and cons and from everywhere, and I'm right in the middle. I'm just waiting for it to unfold. but yeah, I mean, basically the genie's out of the box. You can't really put it back. And I guess the next best thing would be to control it. Yeah,
Be involved in some way as much as you can be at our level.
yeah. So at my level, I won't be programming any AI for sure.
Right,
I'm
me
just gonna
neither.
be yeah.
I would go for an AI editor.
Actually, ChatGPT can do that for you.
Yes, exactly. That's a really good thing. Like if you type a paragraph or something, paste it into ChatGPT and say, "Can you proofread it?" or something like that. It'll source out the grammar for you.
What's his name? Michael Aron, during AuthorTube Writing Conference, he talked about that, how he put his stuff into ChatGPT in the prompt. He said the prompt, I think. And Martin Lejeune, he tried it out this week because he wanted to try out dictation. Because the whole idea that a lot of people don't like dictation is that, it makes it hard to go back and edit it because of punctuation and all this stuff. And so he did dictation this week, and he put it into ChatGPT, and it cleaned it all up.
Exactly. It just makes it so much more streamlined. So if you do the dictation to getting it to the editor, it just kind of streamlines things a bit, and you don't have to like every single period or comma or something. It's all.
Yeah, I just need a decent line edit. I can do the content stuff my own.
Yeah, but that's one way we can, at least most of us can use AI in a ethical and ease of function use, I guess.
Even then, you're taking work away from an editor, and some of them actually don't suck.
No, that is true, but the editors are probably going to be using this anyway.
Yeah, they're going to be using it, and not only that, it is really cost prohibitive for a lot of us to publish. It's one of the reasons why I don't have an editor in this next series. I'm still $4,000 in debt with the series I have out, and I would say 80% of that is my editor costs. And the rate I'm not going to pay that off until I'm 80. So I don't know. I do believe people should get paid for their time, but indies exist because a lot of things have become less cost prohibitive to us, but there are still parts that are really high in costs. And so when they say anybody can publish a book, well, yeah, anybody can publish a book, but it may not be a very good book if it's not well edited or doesn't have a good cover. For you to be able to do that, you do have to have some funds to use to be able to do that. So then it's really not available to everyone.
Yeah, there is a ceiling, and the lower the ceiling, or the lower that ceiling gets, the more people can enter. So yeah, I mean that's AI is gonna advance in some way, and I'm just waiting on the sidelines to see how it does. Sorry, if it's okay, I'm gonna keep going to the comments because there's so many. Richard Incognito, are you buying gifts again, Panda? No, I don't buy gifts in incognito. Thank you. What is on this thing? Okay, just for context, I'm gonna put this thing back on so people can see what Richard's talking about.
We came off of Hananya's stream, the one before, so that would make sense. If you're in incognito, that would be her stuff.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So that's not my stuff. Just
I was trying to see if we're recognizing the other stuff. The thumbnails.
I'll put it back.
Well, I mean, I've been seeing the Secret Invasion stuff everywhere. I haven't even watched that show. I don't care about Marvel anymore.
Ooh, I have been watching that. So that's on my I watched a couple of episodes so far. Okay, let's get back to more comments because there's quite a few. Principal Prickly from Recess, Matthew. I don't know. Yeah, CB is an artist, like a musician, I believe. So I kind of get that. My husband just sent me a photo of my son with a very sad face, his hands clinging to the front of it. Aww. That's heart melting. Shall we be getting new kittens? I don't know.
What about a dog? A puppy?
Hananya, she fell out. She just wants to say that her power went out because she turned the oven on.
Okay. hopefully we'll get Hananya back.
Yeah.
I'd have my air fryer sometimes. I get it.
Yeah. I still do cards, especially birthdays, Christmas, Valentine's. Interesting, Kat. Great to know actually, because I've reduced my cards like significantly. But I mean, I've then shifted on to merch, so stuff like mugs or gifts for people. So it's no longer cards, but it's other things. Is using Google Form to run a newsletter GDPR? I do not know actually, Richard. So if you know, I'd be keen. But I have seen people use some kind of Google Form to kind of link up with the email thing. Elma had to pop out.
I was going to say, I've seen people who put GDR compliant wording into their forms that they use.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Hopefully that helps, Richard. I'm adding a form for creatives to send me their information to add to website lists. The index itself has a form on the site, but the more forms I have, the more I pay. Free options. Yep. Yeah. Emma had to pop up. Have a lovely day. Why did it have to be cats? Why couldn't it be orchids or turtles or even spiders to save us from the zombie apocalypse? I don't know. Do you think cats will save us from the zombie apocalypse?
I'd rather have a cat than a spider, or a turtle, or a flower.
I don't know. Wouldn't dogs be like quite handy for zombie
Dogs would be better.
I don't
they
think
could.
if cats do it, it'll not be because of us. It somehow benefited them to get rid of the zombies. Them saving us just be incidental. Dogs more of a chance of us saving us. Spiders, maybe. That'd be kind of cool. All of a sudden, like spiders like overtook the zombies and like, you're welcome, assholes. Keep crushing us with your shoe.
I don't know. I'm not convinced spiders will do it, but we shall see. Because cats rule says CV, where that is true. Cats do kind of rule my household. Cats are the ones that would be apathetic enough to allow it to get that far before deciding to take piggy on the rest of us. Yes, that is probably true, Rachel. Sometimes, not often, I have two streams on different devices going on at the same time. Oh, good to know. You have coffee. After all, they need us for our opposable thumbs, yeah, and worship. Totally true, Rachel. I'm waiting for books to start popping up by dead authors' AIs. Might be a long wait. Cookies. I love cookies. So true. All hail the feline overlords. I'm not threatened by AI. I'm easily confused by tech and use it a lot already. I just don't add to my list until it seems more necessary to my life's goals. Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
I was reading something about AI recently, not so much the whole writing part of it, but like getting to the point where you can communicate from people who are gone, say like Shakespeare or Hemingway, just to get their thoughts and opinions on even like current situations.
Yep. Nope, that's fair.
You have the Hemingway app, which is developed by Derek Murphy. That's been around for a while. It's AI, and you can put in there, write me this in the style of Shakespeare, but it's all about older authors who are not, so they're all out of the copyright, but basically you can have them write you something in their style.
That'd be so helpful for doing old dialogue. But no, I'll figure it out.
That's right. Yeah. So if you had an older character who is really into Shakespeare, maybe they would speak in a Shakespearean manner,
But what would Shakespeare say about that?
Oh, I think you're gonna have to invent a time travel machine for that one.
Well, I would say as an author, and of course we're all different. We all have different ideas. But if someone a couple hundred years in the future said, I want to write in the style of S.C. Houston, what would she say? I'd be like, yay, I'm still relevant.
That, or he'd be like, I've been sitting at my desk for 3 days straight with my pen and quill, with my quill and ink, and you're doing this.
But he's not doing it anymore.
Yeah. True.
We're gonna be devil's advocate here, you and I.
I don't really hold much investment in it. I'm just kind of going along, but I don't know. I want to know what he'd think about it. Ask ChatGPT what Shakespeare would think about using AI to write.
ChatGPT actually has like some kind of ethical protocol. It says I cannot impersonate or something like that, or
It also says it's just a large language model and it's not capable of emotion, so it cannot give you a value on what someone's feelings might be. Yeah,
that's right. It can't do human feelings and stuff like that, and it won't say bad things about other people as well. Apparently, so yeah, you can't get it to. There are limits. Someone programmed limits into the AI, which is probably a good idea.
And that's because it's a free version, and I've heard it's also in ChatGPT 4, although it's gonna be lifted with ChatGPT 5. But like pseudo-write it does not have those limits, but it's all behind a paywall. So
yeah, and pseudo-write's not the currently not the most cheap. It's not the cheapest option.
No.
So yeah, something to consider. Back to some of the comments. Kat, from what I understand about AI, at least in the art world, it cannot create something 100% original.
Well, right, because everything
Mhm.
it gets, all these AIs, it breaks down everything on the internet into ones and zeros. And so then if you say, give me a colorful beach at sunset, it's going to pull all of this data from every beach and sunset it can find on the internet, and then it just reconfigures it, puts it into random order. And then that's what you get. You get the output of that.
Interesting.
Unless you put an actual artist name in there. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah.
If you put an actual artist name in there, it's going to pull from that artist, which is why I don't use any names at all. I don't ever use any names of anybody with any of the stuff I do, because I think that's unethical.
Cool. Just Eva, I think AI has been around a long time, and that the problems anyone has with it is more relative to capitalism. Treating symptoms isn't enough for all that. Oh, very good point. Very good point. It's true. CB, the minute AI can come up with something on its own is the minute we should panic, not worry, panic. Yep.
That's when it's going to be true AI, is when it comes up with its own.
Yeah.
Right?
That's when you throw water on it.
Yeah. So Richard is a fan of capitalism. You're in the wrong country, Cliff.
Yes.
I don't know, but when was the last time you paid taxes? That's kind of socialist. Oh, it's part socialist. The AIs will be run by those with money, like
I would say
and such.
Yeah, but open AI could be making tons of money if they were after capitalism. But they created their platform with the idea that it was going to be open. Open AI is what ChatGPT is made off of.
But actual capitalism would be, get some competition in there, not have it so centralized. That's when it's not capitalism. That's when it becomes more socialism. When all of a sudden it's government controls. That's going to come next when it gets more intelligent. All of a sudden, big government. We got to regulate this and control it and make money off of it.
Yeah, it reminds me of the guy. I don't know his name now. But he had the human genome decoded, and he decided to share that when actually he could have just held it and sold it for huge amounts of money. But yeah, it reminds me kind of something like that, where AI is partly open, but at some point it may get closed off a little bit. But the original code is,
Yeah, I know right now the OpenAI, they're trying to keep it open source where it stays open and free to everybody.
Yeah, so it's up to you if you know how to code and manipulate the code and software programs and all that. That's way beyond me.
Well, there are plugins for everything. Like I use ChatGPT does have a higher version. That's because they're still developing it. But the free version, there's even plugins for that. So there's a plugin where I have it plugged into ChatGPT, and I can go onto any page, even to a YouTube video, and I can hit the keys that are associated with that plugin. It will summarize everything on there and send it to the ChatGPT, my ChatGPT login. So people are developing these things, and they're free. They're free plugins. Now there's more high-powered plugins for the paid version. But
yeah, gotcha. It's going to be evolving very quick. So yeah, indeed, Pandora's box is open. Margaret, hey, Margaret, great to see you.
And that's what I would say. You guys see how we are superhero people, right? They have our faces on them. That was a plugin someone developed for Midjourney. It's free to use a plugin. You just have to know a little bit behind the scenes of how to create your own channel in Discord and invite the Midjourney bot in, and then put the plugin in and develop your photo, or your picture, not your photo, and then save your ID for the person that you want to replace the face with. There's a few steps in there. But once I had it all set up, it takes me seconds to do it, to replace the face of a picture with someone who actually exists, like us.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good use of it.
It was fun.
Well, yeah, it was. And it looks really cool, actually. Mom Maggie says one of the K-pop companies created a group called Mave, M-A-V-E, that is completely AI-generated music, lyrics, and animation. They have a song called Pandora, and it's pretty good. Oh, nice.
You guys heard about John Lennon, right? The song.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah, they just, because they wanted to come out with another song with his voice, and they have that coming out.
Yeah, Paul had AI generate that, which I'm against, but whatever, his business. I mean, John's gone. The song wasn't finished. Either release it incomplete or don't release it. I guess
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Organic.
Well, there are some artists now, singers who they're like, they've talked about how they would be on board with having their songs developed by AI and because then they don't have to put the time into actually going to all the concerts and or whatever. And there's different parts of it. Some of us say, I just want to go to the concerts because I want to connect with my fans. And then some say, I don't want to go to concerts. I just want to spend time writing the music.
Yeah, I get that. And that's their business to do with their own voice. But when you get the grave robbing, that's when it becomes a problem. But I can also see this happening with shows too. Like, look at The Simpsons. I think that'll be the first AI voice acted show. That's my prediction.
I remember thinking years ago that in the future we'll have all the same actors and actresses that we have today because they're going to know how to synthesize all of them in some way, whether AI or whatever. And we won't need any new actors and actresses because they'll just pull from the likeness of previous people who've done it.
So. That'd be kind of cool if Frank Walker was around for all eternity doing like Megatron and Soundwave.
Why is that okay, but nothing else is?
Well, he said voice actors when I thought of like the greatest voice actors of all time. I wouldn't mind if he kept going on.
Well, that's the same thing as like being a singer. It's a voice.
Yeah, I guess I'm just a little biased there. But otherwise, I mean, if they get that's one thing. If he says like, yes, after I die, that's fine. Not post-mortem, it's going to take his voice and do that.
That might go into contracts in the future for artists.
That's right, exactly. It might be one of those like copyright things plus, is it 70 years? So no one touches my stuff until I'm dead plus, whatever years.
Or they opt in and say, yes, my voice and likeness or artist style or whatever can be used. Because Joanna Penn, she's already put out there, if you want to write a book in my style using some of these AI, go ahead. I allow it.
Music contracts are insane. Billy Corgan was telling about like when he got first signed with for a major label with Pumpkins, they said on the contract, like they own all their music, like in this universe, in any known universe that might be charted from here until whenever. Like it was in the contract. That's how nuts they are about music rights in that business.
So no, this stuff is probably already in some of these contracts then.
Oh yeah. If not, you have no choice. We're going to inject you with something.
Well, I mean, there's people who talk about, I think it's Joanna Penn is one of them who talks about it, just contracts that you sign as an author. If you're doing a traditional publishing contract, most of them have had the language in there that all formats would be there. So it would belong to the traditional publishing company. And this is before we knew about like, it starts with the N, NFTs, before we knew about NFTs. And like some authors want to do NFTs, but if they're under those contracts, they can't do any NFTs. It belongs to the company.
It's too complex for me to understand. But yeah, I can see people doing that. But Richard makes a good point here. They said ebooks would be the death of physical books. That proved not to be the case. Yes, I do agree with Richard here. Definitely think the sphere is big enough for coexistence with AI and human work. I certainly hope that will be the case. I don't want to
if used responsibly.
Here's another way to look at this, right? So ebooks was a new format of books. You have people who you can pay to format your books. You have people who you can pay to do all these different things with the ebook that you never have to do with the print book. So ebooks was not the death of print books. Not only that, it provided more jobs. It brought in more jobs. I'm not saying that AI is going to bring in more jobs, but it's going to bring in different jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I'm just scrolling through the chat as well. But like for example, my prompt game is not great. It's okay with some things, but not so okay with other things. So there's definitely like some room for me to improve. And I think that's where people can step in to improve my prompt game somehow for
it's
whatever.
Already there, Fiverr. You can find people on there doing Fiverr doing prompts.
Yeah, exactly. And just so we're all clear, no secret invasion like leaks because CV hasn't watched it. Okay. Best way
I don't know what that is. So
it's a new thing on Disney. The best way to influence where it goes is to engage with it. Yep. I know some teachers who are using AI to create lesson plans. Yep.
Even college professors are doing that.
Yep. This view is a genocide. Just so we know, Shannon's name is actually incorrectly spelled, Richard. Come on.
Yes, you did spell it wrong.
Hananya had to pop out.
She didn't have to go. She went to go warm up her pizza because she was hungry, and she turned on the oven and it popped out her power.
Yeah, but hopefully she's enjoying pizza now. So
it's a damn good pizza.
I actually had pizza waiting on me too, but I stayed here because I was like, I'll wait until we go in the next sprint and then I'll go eat my pizza.
I had a pizza yesterday.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and because we've got so many comments. There's a doggo
skip through,
named Camper at Rescue. I've already said yes. So Eva's got a new dog. I think.
Kind of dog.
Woohoo. I'm gonna skip through comments. I'm really sorry, people, but there's so much to get through. But I do appreciate all the comments.
Yes.
Let's try and
Thank
get
you so
into
much.
let's go into the next sprints. And we are gonna go right now. So I shall see you in 25 minutes. Woohoo! And that is done. So I think SD had to pop out. She's got a podcast going on right now, so she'll be back later, maybe, hopefully.
It's just me and you, Andy.
Yep, it's just RC and I.
How'd you do?
Yeah, I didn't actually do too much, I gotta say.
But you did something.
Yeah, I made coffee, so I made instant coffee.
There you go.
There you go. I did some self-care, caught up a bit in chat. So let's yeah, how did you do, RC?
I rolled that boulder a couple more times. I'm out of a scene, out of a room, going. I got about 7 more pages left. I had to go reconfigure a few things and move this part of the dialogue to a different scene where it works better. But I get it.
There you go. That's progress. That's good stuff. Let's pick up where we left off on the chat. So just Eva was saying those are the days. I was saying the Big River, which is Amazon, were only selling books. Now they sell everything. Hanani, I don't know if she's on the chat or not, but we were curious as to know whether her pizza had pineapples or not. And there's a couple of people, CB and Emma, who haven't seen Secret Invasion, which is on Disney. So no spoilers, please. And that's me saying I gotta make instant coffee. RC, 3 days without coffee. That's like
yeah. I'm at the halfway point right now.
That's crazy. Why are you doing this? Is there any particular reason for that?
Well, I just moved from another job, and the last job I had, they kind of worked you really hard at a fast pace, and it's a lot of like heavy lifting, a lot of fast moving, and just go all day from 8 to 12 hours, 5-6 days a week. So I was drinking some really strong dark roast like Devil Mountain, Valhalla, Death Wish, 2 big mugs every morning just to get energized, or like crackhead levels. So as you can imagine, after about a year or two, kind of have some horrific caffeine levels of tolerance. I'm just trying to, lower that while I can. I'm at a place now where the, atmosphere is a lot more laid back, and, there's no reason to go around like a psycho. So I'm just knocking back for a few days, drinking some tea, getting it down, maybe get to some like nice medium roast.
There you go. Nothing wrong with dialing it back a little bit.
Or I'll stick to tea because I like tea too. And that's what I used to drink before I, got heavy into coffee.
Yeah, no, I like coffee, but I usually have decaf just to, the full calf makes me go on edge.
Yeah,
too much on edge.
I get that, especially dark roast.
Yeah, I like the flavor. I do like the flavor. I like the smell. But man, you gotta.
Well, I gotta go back to that. Richard's going to see that new Indiana Jones movie. Why?
Yes, Richard says I'm seeing Indiana Jones tomorrow. Like the person or the movie?
Yeah, the person, that's fine. But like, wasn't the last movie bad enough? How many years later, I still want a refund?
I don't know. I haven't seen any of them.
Poor Harrison Ford. I don't want to see him mumble through another movie. It was painful enough to see him in The Force Awakens.
He said he's not gonna do another movie, another Indiana Jones movie. So I think that's that.
You should have said that after Last Crusade.
They always say that, right?
That was the best ending, the perfect ending, riding off in the sunset with the credits going. What? Never mind. I'll stop.
I think that's how they hook people in, saying, "Oh no, I'm not gonna do that again." And
it's like with Marvel. I mean, Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. That was the last one I saw, and I was kind of disappointed by it. And everything coming out does not look that interesting. I don't know if it is. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Samuel L. Jackson, I'm always sold, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to be Samuel L. Jackson on a Disney show.
That's okay. It was okay. I've seen it. I'm not going to give away anything, but yeah, I would watch it. I like to binge watch some of this stuff, but they're drip feeding it out every Wednesday, so I've got to wait like 7 days. Oh my god!
See, I've always been not picked on, but criticized about this, especially with the comic book crowd. I'm that guy that collects the entire arc, or at least the entire storyline, before I start reading it. I don't do the monthlies because I hate waiting.
Yeah,
I'm one of those.
Yeah, I need to.
Like with the show is like anime, I let it collect a little bit, then I'll binge 10 episodes.
Yeah, I couldn't wait, so I had to watch the episode itself. But yeah, it's a new episode every Wednesday on Disney or Disney Plus. Just got to be patient, unfortunately, on this
Did
point.
are they doing anything with the Skrulls? I haven't seen them since a Captain Marvel.
Yeah, the scrolls come. The scrolls are a part of that thing, and I'm not giving anything away because it's on like posters and trailers and stuff. So
I just never understood how they introduced the Kree before the Skrulls. Yeah, never mind. We're writing stuff. I'll stop.
yeah. So Keiko 748 and an entire chapter done. Outstanding. Well done. Kat had lunch, which is great because you gotta have some food to fuel up, right? I think she's part of the group reading Adrian Santiago's Mythic Shadow of the Spark. Okay. I was over on Tiffany's stream. Cool. We were laughing about writing food porn and pairing it as sweet or spicy popcorn. I'm not really a popcorn fan. I don't mind it, but it's not my favorite food.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
There's
I
actually
might
a lot of
have-
gourmet places out here like that. It's like,
Yeah, not really a popcorn fan. I'm okay with it, but it's not my favorite. And CB says I can't have coffee. I get migraines with it. And diet soda, my beverage of choice. Ah, there you go. Caffeine addiction withdrawal sucks. Yes,
yes.
it does. Abhorrence, Emma's favorite word or wonderful word.
Aberrance.
Oh, Kat says I have to give up coffee because of health issues. Oh, okay. This is my last weekend drinking coffee, so I'm switching to herbal tea. Starting Monday. Yeah, well, you got to do what you got to do. Hey.
Herbal tea is good though. It really chills you out.
Yeah.
I do have some.
There you go. There you go.
And I
Tell
will,
us-
Maggie. Sorry. I will, Mama Maggie.
Tell us how
You
you
know me.
really feel.
You know me.
Ooh, let's not talk about the last Indiana Jones or Star Wars. Oh, I don't know. What do you? It's a bit cryptic there, Keiko.
You mean what was it? Return of the Jedi and Last Crusade? Why not?
I don't know. Keiko, maybe a bit more context. We'd love to know. I like Doctor Strange 2. I didn't like Eternals. Ant-Man 3 was pretty. Yeah, Eternals not my thing. I gotta say, no, not for me.
I heard Guardians 3 was
Really,
good.
yeah, that was a big turn off for me. Eternals. No. I would have preferred another season of Agent Carter to Eternals. Yeah, Agent Carter. Yeah, it's not bad. I like that one.
I like the Netflix ones like Daredevil, Punisher, Luke Cage is awesome. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah, I've seen that. Not a huge fan of the Luke Cage one. Some of them were okay. This like they got quite a few of these spin-off things. I like the Punisher one. The Punisher one was good. I like that one. Kat says I enjoyed the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, even though it was dark and had heartbreaking moments. Yeah, I
Heard it
like
was
Guardians
good.
of the Galaxy. I'm waiting for the next season of Witcher. Ooh, I'm terrified. Are you watching Witcher for the story, or are you watching Witcher for the main characters?
However she wants to watch it.
Can we appreciate the fact that the suggested videos include my face? Yeah. There you go. I'm not a big fan of Guardians. No, okay. CB 1590 words.
Wow.
Well done. That is awesome. That's
Very
fantastic.
nice.
I like lemon and ginger tea when I get a cold. I left the cinema after 40 minutes of The Flash. I haven't actually seen that. What did you think of The Flash?
The first 10 minutes were good. 'Cause
Yeah.
You get a big Justice League movement, and all of a sudden you think it's about to set up for the Flashpoint Paradox live action, and just it turns to some weird kind of Elseworlds with spaghetti.
Huh. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. How to piss off two fandoms? Why didn't Spock use the Force?
Because the spice
No.
must flow, Harry Potter.
No. There's a whole bunch of these. I agree with the last indie movie. Should have ended with Last Crusade, and I'm still traumatized. I'm pretty sure they'll do another Star Wars spin-off of someone.
Oh, no.
Elmer loves Witcher. Yeah. Elmer definitely. I can totally see her swooning over that one.
I've never seen The Witcher or read the books. I keep hearing they're good, though.
I'm not I watched a bit of it, and nah. I can see why the ladies will like it though.
Well, I mean, Henry
Yeah.
Cavill is cool. I wouldn't say he was the best Superman. He could have been if they had a better director.
I think it depends on what your preferences are as to why you might want to watch Witcher or not.
Well, it's like 300. Are you watching it because of the Frank Miller story, or because of the Battle of Thermopylae, or because a bunch of hot guys running with their shirts off?
Exactly. It's
Make your
basically one of those.
Pick your poison.
Exactly, exactly. I'm watching Witcher to see how they turn the story. No, yeah, I'll probably watch Witcher, but definitely not Season 4. Okay, if they can't do it right, when? Yeah, true, true. Fair point, fair point. What about decaf coffee? For cat, Lavazza decaf, delicious. Ah, okay, I'll try that. The Flash pissed me off, because it paints Batman in such a negative light. Okay,
At least he
okay.
didn't kill anybody in that one.
Okay, Cliff, Mr. Richard Holiday. No, that is not true. I'm not a fan of Henry. He's okay. I'm just not a Witcher fan. So I am definitely not the Witcher story fan. But I can see why people love it. I really can. He's a Star Wars sequels, only prequel, like Phantom Menace. I'm indifferent to the originals, born in 1982, therefore it's irrelevant to me. Ah, yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I'm planning to binge
494.
Downey's Dreamcast next weekend. Oh, I've got to catch that. I think we can all agree The Witcher was horrible. The Witcher Blood Origin was horrible. I don't think I watched enough to say it was. Yeah, I just watched like a little bit at the start, and I just couldn't get into the story at all. And yeah, you know what, Emma, it's true. I don't like your boyfriend. I'm not even sure why you need a boyfriend. You got like RC. You got me. Why do you need another boyfriend?
Aw. All right.
Um,
Is Henry Cavill just one toke over the line?
exactly. Just yeah, too much. Only reason I like Phantom Menace was Liam Neeson. Okay, okay.
Yeah, he was underused in that movie.
And I get so jealous. This is true. This is true.
He should have been Sith.
Blood Origins. I don't know what that was. Would have been okay-ish if it wasn't so politically skewed. And final comment before we move to the next sprint. Okay, and the music by John Williams. Yes, music by John Williams. I am keen on that
All
one.
right. You know what?
Um,
The prequel trilogy, Clone Wars, they go with the original trilogy. That's all the Star Wars I need. They can do
Yeah.
whatever they want to. I have my little bubble.
There you go. You stick to what you like. Stick to what you like. And Keiko says, I suffered through all 4 episodes. I want my lifetime back. No refunds, unfortunately. Okay, shall we get into the next one, because we have to probably close off before the next stream, which will be SDs. So let's start the next sprint. Going now. I shall see you in 25 minutes. Okie dokie. That is time. Sadly, we have come to an end for today's sprint, and I'm sorry, everyone. I can't get through the chat. The chat's been absolutely hopping. I really appreciate everyone who's joined us today and commented and like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We're gonna do a quick outro, so we leave about 3, 4, 5 minutes or whatever, so people can have time to take a break and hop onto the next sprint, which is on Shannon's channel. I've dropped a link in the comments, or in the in the comments. So, SD, would you like to go first with your outro?
Yeah, thank you for having me on, Andy. I hope to see you guys all following over. But yes, please make sure you take your break, get hydrated, move around, stretch, especially for those of you who have been with us all day. And of course, then I'm the second to last one. Margaret's the last one, so we're getting to the end. We're over halfway through. So hopefully I'll see you guys there.
Awesome. And RC, would you like to go with your outro?
Yeah, RC, I write horror. I'm taking a break for right now for writing. I got out of my scene. I probably got like a few more pages left, but I hit the hard hurdle. The rest is just me bullshitting my way to the end. I have to go run errands, start making dinner, and get my things going for tonight. But I will be in and out of the chats for both Shannon stream and Margaret stream. Plugging some of you people, ranting and raving more.
Yeah, sounds good. And I'm Andy of Easy Graphics. Feel free to check out my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like our videos, watch some of it, comment. We really do appreciate it. But let's close the stream off there, so we have time to hop onto Shannon's channel. I shall see you there, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Stay hydrated.